Yo, 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 yo. What's cracking? We live on a late night, trying to give it another shot. I know a lot of y'all sleep, but if you ain't up, thank you for tuning in. Title of the show is They Don't Want to See Us Win. But we already knew that, right? We already knew that. I don't know why they don't want to see us win. Why they want to hold this generation of people back so bad? Why we just can't be great? Why they want to make it so difficult for us all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden now it's so hard to buy a house. All of a sudden now it's so hard to be in love. All of a sudden you can't even go outside because it's so dangerous. Like, why is it a conspiracy to hold this generation back? I think it's because we waking up. I think it's because we waking up. We got things like TikTok. You know, I used to sleep on TikTok for a long time. I ain't gonna hold you. I was sleeping on TikTok. Matter of fact, why I ain't streaming on TikTok? I need to get that set up. But it's like we the generation that's waking up, yo. We trying to stop these traditions that's getting us nowhere. We trying to stop spinning our wheels. We ain't trying to keep on eating the things that send us to an early death. But they don't want to see us win. So they put us in situations to where we can't blossom. It's so difficult. You know, I know people that get paid $30, $40, $50 an hour, but all they do is work, because if they don't, then they're not going to be able to live the lifestyle that they want to live. That's understandable, for sure. When you want more, you got to do more. But I also know people who work in 3 jobs just to survive. You know what I'm saying? Just to survive. Not even to have the finer things in life. Because they're saying their expenses is through the roof. Their grocery are through the roof. Their gas is through the roof. Like, what are we to do? What we going to do? But this is America, you know? This is what we come here for. Even if you was brought here as like a slave or something, like, you was just brought here to work, pimping. That's it. You was just brought here to work. It was called chattel slavery. I mean, they looked at you like cattle. Even if you was coming here, your parents was an immigrant. They came to get a better life. But I'm sure this is not what they wanted. You know, to work. They probably tried to get away from the situation that they was in, looking for a little freedom. But America, they done took that and they done turned it upside down on us, man. Look at the movies that they give us. You know what I mean? There's no hope in them. No hope in them at all. Everybody's struggling. Even the love movies, you gotta cheat to fall in love. Yo, it's crazy out here, dog. It's crazy out here. Look, people getting degrees, going to school, working for places for 30 years and getting laid off. And if they're not getting laid off, they're getting pushed out. They're getting forced out. Early retirement. They don't want you to win. But yet we still want to be a part of their system, spend all of our money with them, you know what I'm saying? Go out and be entertained by them. Eat everything that they feed us so they can turn around and call, what's it called? Says they need a recall. Oh, that lettuce was bad. How the lettuce gonna be bad? What the fuck? It came out the ground. The ground was right. The soil was right. Y'all must have did something to it. Don't eat the tomatoes. Don't eat the tomatoes. Man, that don't make no sense. They don't want us to live, man. They don't want us to live. They hit everybody with that, Hit everybody with that, 2020. You know what I'm talking about. And then they're coming out and saying that there's side effects to it. You know, what's up with all these side effects? I thought that we had to get that in order to survive. I ain't get the jump, but I'm still surviving. But they tried to play us. You know what I'm saying? They tried to play us. That was the game. I wonder how many people got that jump and their life has changed. I know people personally, like, they got that jump and they have not been the same. Damn near lame, you feel me? Because they don't want us to win. They do not want us to win. They trying to take away your Medicare, Medicaid, whatever it's called. They want to take away your education. But I kind of understand. The educational system is it's messed up because they don't want us to be able to understand what we need to understand in order to make it out here in this world. They ain't never teach me about taxes in school. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't in the highest level of math. You know, I was I don't even know what to call myself. I barely showed up in that joint. So maybe that's not something that I know, but I know they wasn't trying to push like regular skills that we need, like emotional intelligence. They want to teach us about sex though, about our reproductive systems. What we need to learn about having sex for at school, because they already knew they was going to over-sexualize us, because they don't want us to win. Why would they over-sexualize us so much? Why are they still pushing that agenda? Huh? Why they still got us out here humping on everything? What? Why is all music like ain't no baby, I love you, I miss you? Well, there is, but not in like mainstream. Unless you listen to country. Country's untouched. I ain't gonna lie. Country is like, whew, that there's some gold right there, boy. They be putting some good music in that country songs. I'm trying to tell you. Listen to a country song the other day. That song dang near brought me to tears. He said, what he say? If I'm the problem, you might be the reason. I'm like, shit, that was cold right there, my dude. But they pushing like celebrity breakups on us. We want to know what's going on with Cardi B and Offset. Like, what's up with her? Matter of fact, no. Let's go a little deeper. What's up with what's her name? That one girl, Kim Kardashian. Remember, we all wanted to be Kardashians. Then she married that one guy, Kanye West, and he was doing good. And then everything fell apart. Why? Because they didn't want him to win. Think about it. They didn't want him to win. He the one who told us, like, the system is rigged. System is rigged. Like, the things that we doing is his choice, but he tried to hide it behind his word and saying, like, slavery was a choice. Not necessarily being in captive, being, becoming captive. But you couldn't help being enslaved. But the decisions that we make now is a choice. You feel me? The decisions that we make now is a choice because they don't want us to win, so they distract us with so much nonsense. That's why they hit us with all this sexual stuff and everything. I can't even go to church because everybody got their titties out, dog. Like, I'm trying to do right. I don't want to be hugged up on you and your titties is all hanging out and stuff. Like, I'm trying to get my life together. There's sex everywhere. Now we going to church. You got on the skirt that come up mid thigh and the stockings and the high heels. I'm like, wow, you look nice, but let me get my black ass up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because I can already see where this is going. Oh, show some kind of self-control. Yeah, I'm gonna control myself by not coming up in this joint. You heard me? At least if I want to be bombarded by that kind of stuff, I would just go to the club or something like that. Can't even watch a movie now with my kids because now, you know what I mean, it's gonna be a sex scene because they want to cloud their minds and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then they pushing this whole AI thing. Like, what's going on with the AI? Yeah, it's the next big thing. But I mean, like, what is the big deal of replacing human beings? Like, why is that such such a big fad, man? We ain't going nowhere. Don't worry, we ain't going nowhere. Some people gonna pick, yeah, I want an AI friend because they don't know how to make real friends. Because they don't want to see society come together, man. If society come together, it's gonna be trouble. You feel me? But as long as we divide it, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. We actually out here fighting each other over our favorite sports teams. Like that's how much sheeple we are. We are fighting each other, hurting each other at celebrations because you got on the jersey that I don't like. The emperor must be happy about this. Like he's like, yes, we got these so lost. We can do anything. We can pull the wool right over their eyes. They don't want to see you win, dog. That's why they give you all these games, and then the games, they got games inside of the games. You got to pay for the skins. You got to pay for the subscriptions. You got to pay for the internet. You got to pay for everything. Everything is a monthly recurring charge, damn near almost. Like, what's going on with the free market? Why is everything trying to hold us back? No, not yeah. Yeah, ain't it? They want to see us lose. They want to see us down. You can't even own nothing no more, bro. They're trying to make it so like if you own a property, you don't got to pay taxes for the rest of your life. Like I feel bad for old people. You worked your whole life to get this property, and now they're still knocking on your door for some taxes. They don't want you to win, fam. They don't want you to win. They don't want you to come out on top, even in your old age. You think when you ready to retire, they're gonna be able to cut you a check each month and the deficit that we in now? You really think with your mind that they're gonna take good care of you when you get to that age? Matter of fact, you think that society is gonna have a place for you when you get that age? They don't care about us, bro. So you gotta hustle. You gotta grind for real. I know I went the long way around it to get here, but I just wanted to paint that picture how messed up it is, bro. If you ain't grinding as hard as you can, you gonna lose, fam. You gonna be stuck where you at. And that's on my mama. Isn't that what 607 Unc say? That's on my mama. That's what y'all run around here saying every day. On my mama, on my mama, on my mama. You gonna be stuck where you at. You feel me? Sheesh. Because, the generation before us, they used to have government jobs and work at factories, man. Government jobs getting laid off. They don't want to see them win either. No, the factories are being shipped overseas. Well, I think now they coming back. Thank God. Thank God. People are like, why do you want the factories to come back? The prices of everything's gonna go up. It was cheaper when we were importing it. They don't even want their kids to win. They don't even want their grandkids to win. They thinking about the prices of stuff because they're so busy getting Amazon packages and shit like that. That they're just like, why would we create anything in the United States? They're sheeple. There's a lot of sheeple out this joint, bro. They don't want to create. They just want to consume. They probably looking at me like, yo, what is you always on the internet talking crazy for? That's my calling. That's my purpose. I find enjoyment in this. And guess what? They pay me for this. That's the crazy thing about it, yo. But people don't see life like that. Like, find your purpose and become the best version of you so they won't have you stuck in the matrix for the rest of your life. I used to see people, the generation before me, getting up every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. That was cool until they got laid off by the same job that they showed up to on time every day. Best thing to do is start your own. Start your own, because nothing's guaranteed out here. Just start your own. They don't want to see you win. They want to see you work until you're what? What's the retirement age? 67, something like that. I don't know. I'm nowhere near that right now. I think I got like 20 more years. It's depressing. Depressing. They want me to work for 20 more years, y'all. They don't want to see me win. They don't want to see me happy. They don't want to see me travel. Oh, yeah, you get 2 weeks to go see the world. Put all your money, all your savings. Let's go on a cruise. And then they ask when I come around, why you acting funny? Bitch, because I'm broke. Not broke financially. I'm broke spiritually. They're trying to break a nigga out this joint. But I had to run back to God. I had to run back to God and ask him to come ahead and get my mind right. I was all out here in the studios and making music and doing what I needed to do to try to be an entertainer, because I thought that was the way that we was going to escape the matrix. But no, that was a scam. That was a scam. Just like people who worked in the government for 30 years and was laid off. Scam likely. Scam likely. Now they sitting around talking all on TikTok like, we got laid off. No, you was just telling us how educated you were. How you didn't need no help. Yes, they played them, and now they want to play you. Because you don't see it. They don't want you to win. AI is coming. They don't need you no more. They don't need any of us no more. Unless we got like some kind of skill. So you better get a skill. You know what I'm saying? Get you a skill. This is my skill. Talking shit on the internet. Have a nice production. This is my skill. I have other skills as well, but this is the skill that you're going to see. And this is the skill that you tune into. Go to school. Not to do no underwater basket weaving. Go to school for something that is going to be needed. You feel me? Get a trade. So you can write your own ticket. That's the only way we're going to escape, man. They don't want to see us happy. They want to see us living from check to check to check to check to check to check. Lord forbid something happen to you. Lord forbid you get sick. Lord forbid you get laid off. Then you're going to be worried about a severance. Then you'll be worried about unemployment. How are you going to create like that? You're not. Because you're going to be barely getting by. You're going to be worried about your next meal. You might have it for a little bit, but trust and believe. Time going to keep on ticking. And the more time that goes by, the smaller that window is to escape this matrix. Now, if we really want to win, we come together. We come together and we figure out, like, what is next for us? But, like, how we going to put our minds together to escape together? I'm from Maryland. It's crabs in a bucket. We all know that. Crabs in a bucket in Maryland. If you ain't know, come to Maryland and hold your ass back, I guarantee. They'll do everything in their power to try to hold you back. You will not be collaborating out this month. No, sir. No, sir. You're going to have to leave. Maryland's too close to D.C., and D.C., it's not even part of the United States, yo. You go out that junk, sheesh, the rules going to change. So some folks in Maryland have that same mindset. They change the rules at any given time to hold you back. Then I go to other places. Yeah, they're a little bit more hospitable. But then there's some underlying hatred there as well. I've traveled a lot. And when I travel, I kind of like to sightsee and people watch. I haven't traveled outside of the United States very much though. So that's what I need to do. That's what people keep telling me to do. Get out of the United States. Get out of the United States. Travel outside of the United States. And I ain't gonna lie, every single time I went out the United States, I had a ball. I had the time of my life. And when I came home, I cried. Secret from me to you, every time I come home from outside of the United States, I shed a tear because this cannot be life. They don't want us to win here. It's crazy why the food tastes so good outside of the United States. The people are always so happy outside of the United States. It's like the sun shines brighter outside of the United States, even if it's colder. The sun just seems like it's like, hey, no smog, no stress. We just shining. So, in order to get outside of the United States, we gotta hustle and we gotta grind. We gotta do what we gotta do to leave this junk. That's the new American dream, to leave America. We trying to leave this junk because they don't want us to succeed here, dog. They want to work you to a grave. I seen it happen. I saint it. I saint it with my own two eyes. I saint it. All they want you to do is work, 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 work. Hustle, 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 hustle. That's America for you. That's why people love to come to America. But then they get here and they get burnt out, or they figure out a cheat code. But as Americans, sometimes we a little bit slow to understand because we ain't experienced nothing else. People coming from other places coming to America, they're like, man, life is simple here. They pile up 5, 6 people to a house, do what they gotta do, grind, come up with businesses, collaborate with each other. Then boom, they out. Now it's only 4 people there. A few months later, boom, another person out. They on the side of the street doing what they need to do, whether it's selling flowers. I see them selling coconut water out of coconuts. Husband and wife. There ain't no pride between them. Ain't no ego like, oh, you supposed to do these. Nah, they happy to be in America. And we here killing each other. We killing each other. Turn on the news every day. It's like, yo, person does this, person loses their goddamn mind because of all the stress that they're under. Like, when we gonna wake up and see that the game is rigged? It's rigged. For a large percentage of people, they're going to work, work, work until they die. What kind of life is that? But the people who are creating, starting businesses, finding people to collaborate with, they got the cheat code. They got the cheat code. They know what it's really about. It's really about creating a legacy for the people who come behind you. So they can say, dang, I'm glad goddaddy or granddaddy or auntie or grandpa or cousin, somebody made that major move, that major risk, so that our life is different here. It's not like everybody else. Unfortunately, now the people in your family don't even want to see you win. I ain't lying. You might have to collaborate with somebody outside of your tribe, yo, because your tribe got a low vibe. It's tough out here now. Make sure you're on top. Make sure your game is sharp. You should be able to get chose with your mouth closed. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I lose track of the prize. You know what I'm saying? I get deprived. You know what I'm saying? motivation be fleeting, but I ain't just trying to live for the weekend. I'm trying to get everything that's promised to me. I want to live abundantly, you feel me? But they don't want us to win. They want you to do all the work while they get all the glory. That's why people always calling you, asking you for stuff. Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, what are you doing this? They don't ever call and be like, yo, you was just on my mind. I was just reaching out to say you was good. Because they don't care, bro. They really don't care. Like, why would they care about what you going through for real, for real? You got to grind, baby. You got to grind. Always stay on the grind. I was asking my homeboy today, like, yo, what we gonna do? How we gonna win? He's like, man, we already winning. I'm like, I know, but what's the next step for us? He's like, yo, we just gonna keep grinding until we get tired. I'm like, that's not healthy. How is that healthy for us to grind until we get tired? He was like, it's not about grinding until you exhausted, until you put yourself in a grave. It's about developing a work ethic. So then when you get to the next level, you never lose that shit. Woo! Man, that joint resonated with me so much. I'm like, dang. When you just getting tired, it's like you just dipped your toe in. You just getting started. That's why a lot of people don't be able to reach their wildest fantasies unless it's sexual. Because when you want to have sex, now everybody's having sex so easy, you ain't got to do too much. But starting businesses and traveling the world and learning different languages, nobody wants to do that because it's too hard. It's too tiring. Don't even talk about playing an instrument. Sheesh. Learning like martial arts. Oh my gosh. Man, getting a trade. Man, I think my homeboy, he's a master mechanic or something like that. Master steam fitter or something. I don't know. But he said it's like 5 years just to get to that level. So you gotta be in there. But that's what you want to do. I don't know. My kids, I still do the homeschooling thing, so I really am really hands-on with my children. Probably to a fault, you feel me? Because I'm the only man around. I'm trying to raise them to be men. I'm trying to raise them to be like strong men. But it's tough though, because the world is so man, they want to tear masculinity down, but masculinity built this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying anything about being feminine. Nothing's wrong with being feminine. Like, if that's what you want, that's what you are. But I'm talking about for my children. I'm really hands-on with them because I'm really trying to get them to understand when they get older, it's going to be tough. Nobody wants you to win but your father, son. You feel me? Nobody, once you get to a certain age, nobody want to see you win but your father. That's just real. Because once you become a man, that's when that divide comes. And a lot of people aren't prepared for that. They don't be prepared. Like, yo, the same people that said that I was cute and cuddly, now they're like, you a grown man, get it done yourself. And I don't want my kids to be like, huh? Get it done myself. Like, no, bro. That should be your mindset from the day you was born. I'm here to help. People are here to help, but you got to take the initiative. And it's like, what we gonna do? We gonna work. We gonna grind because they not giving nothing no more to nobody. What? They was talking about they want housing to be 2 years. I know people who've been on housing for decades. What is they gonna do? Like, time's ticked on their ass. And they're like, oh, we're good. Everything will be all right. No, everything's not going to be all right. They're getting sick of the freeloading. And it was all a setup from the Jump Street. When they took the program from the Black Panthers, you know what I mean? They just screwed everything up. They screwed everything up. They was like, we will make it so that they don't need each other as long as they depend on the government. And then the government comes out of nowhere. It's like, hey, remember that thing that we said will give you stability? We're going to snatch that from you. We're going to pull the rug out from underneath of your feet. And now people is out here tripping. They tripping. Remember that job that you had that we said, you come to work on time and you just do the bare minimum. And I've worked in corporate America, so I know what it's like in corporate America. I know, like, you'll have an issue and stuff like that, but it will never be resolved because there's nobody who takes pride in their work. Yeah, I know. But then we get mad when we get laid off. Like, I was laid off. I enjoy it. This is how I got here. This is like what gave me the courage to come and live stream for 30 minutes with 0 viewers. Because I don't care. Like, I've already done everything that they said I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Not to the extent that they want to see me do it, but when you halfway down the road and you're like, man, this seems like I'm going the wrong way. How much further do you gotta walk before you realize, like, they leading you down a bad path? And a lot of young people are starting to realize that, and they just checking out. But they lost. They in the middle of the wilderness. You feel me? They in the middle of the wilderness by themselves because they decided to check out. They don't have no guidance, and that's sad. What are we doing as their elders? Like, what are we doing for them? I know what I'm doing. I'm talking that shit, dog. I'm letting them know that this shit is rigged, dog. Hey, youngsters, get on your game, go to work, or you're going to end up just like your daddy, just like your mammy. Now, if you got a good mother and a good father, you better go ahead and tune in, listen to them. They got the game. Are they NPCs as well? You want to grow up to be an NPC, friend? You want to grow up to have your whole existence based around somebody else's company, making somebody else rich, friend? Because as I mentioned, like, unless you got a trade or a skill, you're easily replaceable. Very easily replaceable. I know so many people that are on their high horse, and now it's like they sitting around playing in their phone all day because they don't know what else to do. Once they took that job from them, they was like, I don't know who I am. It's so hard for me to stay focused. I'm gonna be a content creator. This shit's hard as a mom. Shit hard as hell, boy. You gotta put in that work. You gotta put in more work as a content creator than you do as a mom going to college. They don't get that though. You gotta put in more work as a content creator than you do as a college student. But everybody wants to drop out of college to become a content creator. What other skills do y'all have? Nothing. I'm good at playing video games. Hey, well, do your thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody stop you, but just know you're going to be playing video games all day. All day. Which is cool. I enjoy it. I don't play video games, but when I do, I enjoy them. So now, not that I don't play them, but I don't make it a practice to come home, sit down, and jump on the game. I probably ain't played the game in like 2 months, a month or something like that. Probably a little longer. Unless, I got kids, like I said. So sometimes I get on there, bust their ass, and whoop. Toss the controller to the side. Like, get out of here. Y'all go practice. I don't need to play. Like, I'm good at understanding the concepts, and they still young. But once they get older, I'm sure they start to punish me in that joint, and then they'll pass the torch. But they come close, yo. They come close, and I tell them all the time, yo, I want to see you win. I want to see you beat me. They be having me sweating, and they my kids, so they be talking. Yeah, I'm like, yo, hold on, yo. Hold on, yo. Let me go ahead and get it right because they coming for dad. But I want to see them win. I want to see them be able to be successful at anything that they touch, man. Whatever their endeavors are, I wish them the greatest of luck, Godspeed at everything they do. But I'm also here to tell them, like, hey, you're gonna have to give a lot of effort in everything, not just the game, not just going out and playing with your friends. Everything's gonna have to take a lot of effort. Because once I'm dead and gone, or once you move outside of this house, or once you get to college, once you get to workforce, once it's time to start your business, whatever it is that your path is, it's going to take a lot of work. It's 2:36 in the morning where I'm at. East Coast time. Maryland, we in the building as always. This message was on my heart. Take a look around. Think about it. Think about how tired some of these older folks is. And think about the ones who are tired. Do you want the life that they're living? Some of them got money now. I know a lot of successful older people. I'm like, yo, how you get so successful? They say they worth it. Okay, so that's worth it. That's worth it. They happy and they smiling. And I know some successful people, and it's like they're not very happy because they don't have no purpose, and they know like they really gave their life to somebody else's dream. We live in an amazing time right now where you can literally be anything that you want to be. People are getting rich online digging holes in the dirt. For real. For real. Like, they be making some amazing holes. They be having steps in there. They be putting rooms in there. And the joint be like a house. It's like a house, but it's really just a hole in the dirt. Put some wood in there, like, you know what I mean? Because most people don't do that. And it's like, wow, how did you do that? Because I spent my whole life digging holes in the dirt. And now I'm getting paid for it. Kids are getting paid to open up games, toys, to play video games online. Like, they're getting rich. People are getting rich doing pranks, bro. Pranks. Like, they're getting rich going around here pranking people so much that kids are losing their lives out here trying to prank each other. Kicking on the door in the middle of the night. A kick dough prank or whatever. Kick dough challenge. They don't want to see nobody with nothing in their mind, dog. Nothing. That's why they perpetuate or keep this thing going on where it's like so much ignorance in the United States. In other countries, they ban that stuff. They ban that stuff. They ban the dumb TikToks. You can only get informational and educational TikToks. And I think some countries, they even have time limits for how long children under a certain age could be on social media. Here is like the wild, wild west. These kids do what they want, consume what they want. And it's like, we wonder why society is falling apart. Where are we going to be? And it's like, why don't they have regulations on this stuff? They got regulations on everything else that can get you addicted. My grandmother is addicted to social media, bro. That's how I know this shit is bad, yo. They got Granny too. I go over there, hey, grandma, how you doing? Good. What you been up to? Nothing. But I understand because she done work a long time. I'm like, dang, grandma, you're not even the same no more. Like, God damn, they got my grandma a zombie. They turn my mother into an NPC. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on out here in the world, y'all? Why don't they do something about this goddamn internet? I got to force the kids to go outside, force my bra to have a conversation and relate to me and shit. Because it's so easy for somebody to just pick up the phone and get interactions that way. It's like, yo, they need to put some regulations on this shit. Why are they putting all this negative energy out on this internet? What in the world is going on? I was at work the other day. This lady come in there, she talking. Yo, she had to be like 60 years old. She's listening to men versus women content over and over and over and over in the break room. And she like, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, yo. They even got her. Like, what's going on? But you know, that's the algorithm. Not on every algorithm, because the algorithm goes off of what you like consume. But even if you're not consuming it, they putting it in your face. Because I don't even consume that stuff. Sometimes I gotta be like, yo, how did this get what? Why is this on my algorithm? I don't watch, listen, entertain, comment on none of this stuff, but they putting it in the mix. And you gotta go and you gotta specifically like other things, like specifically go and comment and skip. I don't want to see this. And then after like some time, they'll stop showing it to you for a little while. But for real, man, they want you to have the brain rot, dog. They want you to have the brain rot. That's what the game is all about. That's what the game is all about. Being a zombie, going to work, being a cog in the system. Going to work is great. Working for a cause is great. Being part of something bigger than yourself is great. But a lot of us ain't doing it. A lot of us ain't in no union. Unions are cool, but they also, I hear they like manipulate the pay scale, but they always get paid more than other people. No, it wasn't that they manipulate the pay scale. It was that when they want more money, they'll go on strike. And if you're part of the union, you're expected to strike with them, which makes sense as well. But I'm just, just my thoughts flying out my head. Disregard that part. Basically, what I'm saying to you, what I've been saying to you for the last 43 minutes almost, is they don't want to see you get anywhere here on this plane. No, this car. No, this ship. No. I mean, here in the United States, dog. And I only say United States because I ain't lived nowhere else. But I've been on planes. I've been on ships to go other places, and oh man, the people are smiling, they're happy. It seems like they just enjoy life a little bit more than we are. I'm enjoying it. I found my purpose. Thank you, God. I found my purpose. Thank God, yo. I was lost for a long time too. But we here now. Once they opened the door for me, I was like, yo, I'm never turning back. They done monetized me, I'm never turning back, bro. That's it. Find your purpose. Dig into it like it's your only chance for survival. Don't be out here floating around like that balloon on Forrest Gump. Y'all probably don't remember that. But remember how that balloon was floating all over the place? That was supposed to symbolize Forrest's little rabbit ass mind. Don't be like Forrest Gump. Mama said, come on now. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to work, all right? Keep pushing, keep grinding. Don't worry about the haters and the naysayers. You know they hate us because they ain't us, right? Y'all be easy.